Hi, and welcome to another episode of Just kidding. I've had Amanda on the Latina Leadership Series before. If you haven't watched that, I'll link it below. Go watch the interview. Go watch the conversation that I've had with Amanda. Here on If Not You, Then Who, which is the Latina Leadership Lives, I have a new series. It's called Conversations with My Friends. So this is the first one, and this is the kickoff and how to do it with Amanda. Say hi, Amanda.
Hi, guys.
So on this series, I'm going to have invited guests to talk about friendships, conversations with my friends, whether it's bringing up hard topics, difficult topics, or just... so the conversation that I want to have with Amanda today, it's not going to be difficult or hard, but it is going to have a little bit of influence of sort of our friendship and the downs and ups, and we haven't had many downs. I think you know what, let's just kick this off. Let's start here, Amanda. Give me your name. What do you do? What are you up to? I literally just tell me your likes, your dislikes, so the audience can get to know you.
Okay.
Things like that. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm Amanda Hewitt. And so I've been blogging off and on for going on about 7 years.
Uh-huh.
And so my blog's name is Positively Beautiful Life. It's been like a year, I think, since I've really written on there. Mm-hmm. Of course, everything's going to like video and everything. And there's some things like COVID happened, mm-hmm. and then a little bit before that, my grandma got cancer, and then my grandpa got cancer, and I have a really close relationship with them. Of course, I grew up with them, mm-hmm. and so I kind of started contemplating just what I was doing and everything. And so with my blog, it was about bringing positivity, which is great, which is a lot of who I am. Mm-hmm. And, but I did, DIY because I love DIY and remodeling our home and everything. And then I had a series, Inspirational Tuesdays, where it was more Christian based. I used the Bible to, talk about stories about my own life and everything. And then, I did like food and travel and, things like that. So it was pretty broad, and mm-hmm. I don't know, I just started, I guess once I got away from the camera and away from social media, it was just, I liked it.
Yeah.
Because
you took a break.
Yeah. I needed that break. And then I got a job.
Mm-hmm.
I was a director at the Bachelorette Pregnancy Resource Center.
Yeah.
And so, of course, that was something new.
Mm-hmm.
And a little bit, trying. And so, of course, that almost a whole year, I focused on that. And then I recently quit that position right on Good Friday, right before Easter.
That's right.
And so right now I've just been at home so I have I'm married, and I have a 17-year-old son, and so he's not driving yet. So, and he's in football, and it's like, I'm pretty much his chauffeur, like just driving him everywhere. And
he's got big things he's doing. So, taking that small break that he can have that time in between with you in the vehicle. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. And, Noah, he's trying for a D1 scholarship in football, and he's, working really hard and training and everything. Yeah. So I'm glad I can be here for him. I mean, I only have him for 2 more years and he'll graduate. And so, and I felt like I was called for a time of rest. And I believe that, there's going to be some doors opening perhaps for the future. And who knows? I mean, I was working on a book for, and so you know the story.
Yeah. You were working on the book.
So I was working on this book, and it's based off of my Inspirational Tuesday stories. So pretty much everything that was on my blog, I was converting it into a book with adding some new stories to it. Mm. Well, 5 chapters got deleted because Brandon,
Brandon is her husband. Not her son.
Yeah. Brandon is my husband. Yes. So Brandon's my husband. And so I told him, I was like, don't go near my computer. Uh-huh. Well, I was like, especially don't unplug the charger.
Oh, okay.
So what did he do? He unplugged the charger. So I didn't save my work. And so, of course, that was my fault. I should have saved it.
Well,
and so
partly blame both parties. Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, I had said, okay, well, I quit my job. I can finish this, and I still haven't got to it, but I'm hoping to maybe finish it. I mean, that's been kind of my dream since I think college. I was like, I've always wanted to like kind of write a book, and so I mean, there's a certain audience that was watching my stuff, and I was like, maybe a different audience might, be able to, if there's a book, maybe, so, you never know. So we'll see.
We'll see. I like it. So you had been working on this blog religiously for a really long. You gave it real dedication. You bought cameras. You did your writing, all your editing. I remember having a conversation with you, and you used to talk about that you would spend hours working on it.
Yes,
hours. And it was just perfecting the language. It was your message, and you really gave it a really good, like, it's still a living blog, and so you can still visit it. I think it does cater to a certain audience, and I think if that's what you're looking for in today's world, it's still there, it's still existing. So yeah, I do very much appreciate you very much catering to a specific person who needed that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I wondered, I was like, am I actually, because in my writing, I was like, okay, it's okay if nobody reads it. I always told myself, and I told Brandon, just conversating with him, my husband, I was like, even if I helped one person, because really I started it to help people, to bring positivity to people because of so much negativity in just the world in general.
Oh, yeah.
And so I was like, if it could help just one person, I would be happy. But then I got caught up in like numbers and not
the pretty
people
photos,
yes,
the
and everything.
Yeah.
And I was like,
the algorithm, all the shits.
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, I don't know. I was like, I felt like I was just so caught up, and I was like, I was talking to God. I was like, Lord, I was like, maybe I'm missing something, and so that's whenever a lot of things had happened, I took a step back, but, like how you're saying, my blog's still out there, and, it's Positively Beautiful Life. And I feel like there's going to be a time and that I'm going to get back to the writing, but nowadays everything, is video and everything. And I just really enjoyed the writing. I really, really enjoyed it. It's therapy. Yeah. It's like, it's good therapy.
Yeah. Like video is for me. Like I really like this. Like I really like the audio. I really like the aspect of the mic, the camera, and just talking to a camera. Like, and sometimes, I do. So I get that. I get what you're saying. You like there's a certain part of it that you liked, and it is difficult to kind of put yourself out there, and you get caught up in I want to be just like that, or I want to get those opportunities.
Yeah,
I want that to happen
for me. And the fashion, because I also did fashion as well, and I felt like I've never been a name brand person ever, and I never will be. But I was doing like a lot of shopping, even though if it was like at TJ Maxx or Ross or whatever. I mean, I was like, I don't know. And then COVID happened. I was like, none of this is really important. It doesn't matter what you wear or whatever. I was like, it's what's in your heart. It's what's so, I mean, like I said, I mean, I really enjoy it. I miss it a lot. And I miss like the friendships that I had,
we still have them. We still have, they're still here. They're still existing. But it was a different world when you would go out there and you would blog and take pictures and you would, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like we would put things together. We'd get really creative on like the background. We'd get creative on like just things, and we talk about a lot of this stuff that we were doing, new gadgets, new apps, new whatevers. Like we were really into it.
Yeah,
I still am, but it's a different facet for me now.
Yeah.
But I love this world. I love the world of social media. I love it. So you got into blogging, and you feel like you are going to get back to it?
I don't know if it's going to be actually, blogging. I've thought, we've had this conversation before maybe perhaps starting my own podcast, but I don't know, so I was so, I love the pictures. I love all that. And then, everything's changing. So it's like almost like I'm not keeping up with times.
It's a fast moving world. This whole online thing, it's fast moving. We went quickly from like Twitter to pictures to video. 3-second videos to 7 seconds. We're back up to like a minute and a half. Like it's the Wild West out there. Like it's constantly changing. It's constantly moving. But blogging is where it was at one point, and there was a lot of passion behind that because you could do whatever you wanted on that blog, video, pictures, text. Like it was up to you. You could get as creative as you want. But when you're on apps, when you're on social media, you're restricted to whatever they give you.
Yeah,
you're restricted to whatever it is that they offer. Like MySpace did, right? So, okay, Amanda, let's jump into the topics. Okay. So, me and you. So, for those who don't know, me and Amanda we are good friends, but we are very we are on ends of spectrums. Like my husband, I am one that I don't mind dropping the F-bomb here and there. I don't mind. Now I'm a little more reserved, just a tiny, maybe 10% reserved. And I do configure like, okay, maybe I shouldn't be so la 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 la. But when I'm with my friends, like I don't mind it. I don't mind being rambunctious. I don't mind being intolerable. I don't care. Like I'm like, I am I. And as Amanda is also, she's very much, her way, lighthearted, soft-spoken, very detailed in the way she expresses herself. So we're polar opposites. But so the thing that I want to talk about is that because we're polar opposites, like even together, there are topics that we don't agree on. There are conversations that we can. And we've never had it out. We've never fought over things, but you can tell immediately that we're just there. I don't see that side of that road. I see what you're saying and I understand it. And I think you see my side of my road and you understand it, but I don't think it's ever we're constantly walking on this, down the road, but we're sometimes on separate sidewalks. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's been our friendship sometimes where I continue to watch over what you do and how you live life, and just to check in to be like, is she okay? Is she okay? And so every now and then, I'd pop up and how are you doing? And she's, I'm doing good. How are you? I'm doing good. And I feel like with everything that's happened the last 4 years, it's been difficult, and it's put a lot of stress into everybody, and especially people who don't agree with topics, who don't agree with things. And that's the conversation today is, how do you do that? How do you still foster to relationships when you're so opposite? And especially this friendship is a choice. We're not related. We're not childhood friends, you know what I mean? We met in our adulthood, and this we have to work on,
Yeah.
This is a choice. So it comes in part on her and it comes in part on me. And so, what do you think, Amanda? What do you think?
I think you hit it right on the nail. We're definitely opposite. You said I'm soft-spoken. I'm like, girl. I'm not soft-spoken.
Well,
just be too nice.
Compared to me, she's soft-spoken. Compared to my ass, she's soft-spoken. But sometimes I think we get it. So, and this happens where we influence each other. Yeah, we do. We influence each other. Sometimes I leave here thinking okay, I have to be much more understanding, I have to be much more, or sometimes it gears me up and I have to be okay, I think I'm set in my ways. I think I'm okay with who I am. Sometimes I don't know. Maybe I think to myself, am I wrong in this? Am I not thinking clearly? Am I not reaching from my gut? Am I not pulling from somewhere? But then sometimes I come here and I'm like, no, I'm reaching from a place of understanding also. I'm reaching from, and I think that's the thing with this. And we influence each other a lot in ways where we're like, and you know, sometimes the brunt of the hits, our husbands get it, not even each other. It's never here. It's always like somewhere else. Like I don't mind having it out with Brandon. I don't mind having it out with Juan. I don't mind.
Oh, yeah. I think that's what's so great about our relationship, because especially you, oh my gosh, you and Brandon can like definitely, like, it's so funny. And I'll just watch. And me and Juan are like, usually me and Juan are kind of like the ones that are more alike. Yeah. And then you and Brandon just like have it out. It's just, it's so funny to watch.
It is because I feel like so talking about that, I feel like we influence each other, and I have respect for you. You know what I mean? And so I think that's part of it, is that you have to have respect for the person, the individual themselves, the person themselves, even if you don't agree with what they think. Even if
well, I know you, and I know your heart, and I love the way you are. Like, you know, that's you. And so, like you're saying, like, you know, you're loud and you say the F-bomb, and, you know, none of, like, I mean, just because I might not say that, it doesn't, I mean, I used to say all that too. It's just like, you know, I've come in a different place, in my life and everything. But, you know, none of that bothers me. It's like, because I love you, you know, I love the person that you are. You're just outgoing. You're eccentric. You're interesting, and I love that.
Thank you. I've never heard that.
You're so interesting, and I'm just like, and I see you, and I'm like, oh, and I like, it's so beautiful. Like, I mean, I just, you know, so it doesn't matter if, like, because the way that you had explained it, like, we're on two different sidewalks, and it's like, one's like, I'm like, hey, and you're like, hey, Amanda. And it does. And I think that you hit it right on.
It works for us.
Yeah, it does.
It works for us. I think the same thing with you. I have, like I said, I respect you, and I feel very comfortable around you. I feel like I can trust you. I feel like the conversations we have here, like, I'm not, you know, I feel like I'm not going to hear it from somebody we don't know. You know what I mean? I'm not going to hear like a backstory from somebody, but I trust that you know who our friends are and what you're going to say to them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't mind, because whatever I tell you, I'm going to tell our other friends too. And that doesn't bother me, but I never assume that like somebody that might know us, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Somebody that you know that's not like an ally to me, I know that you're not going to go repeat to them.
Right.
You know?
Right.
But the people who we do know and who we do consider safe people for both of us, I don't mind that. You know what I mean? I know, because again, I'm that person that if I say something with you, I'm going to say with them also.
Right.
And so, and I feel like there's comfort in that. There's a lot of comfort in that. There's a lot of things that I can trust, even at my worst. I mean, when I was going through the hellhole of like my sister's diagnosis and the death of her, like I had spent my birthday here days before my sister passed away, and I was here, and I was not like. I wasn't like, I was physically here, but I was not here. Like, it was
that was a tough time, because even as a friend, I was like, oh, you know, trying to figure out how to be there for you, you know, and really, I just was like, I don't even have to say anything. Yeah. Just me being there. Yeah. And so, I mean, I know how tough that was, and just everything. And I remember us having conversations, and I know like you were just, you know, just talking about a lot of things. And even if I didn't understand, I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to be a listener. Yeah. And so,
and I appreciated that. You'll be surprised how many people don't do that.
Yeah.
And I, no offense to them at all. I take no hard feelings, because they were probably in a different, time in their life. So I took no offense to it at all. But when it happens to you, it's nice to be, it feels okay to be like, I don't know, like just seen, you know what I mean? And I know I came heavy a lot around people. I came really heavy around a lot of people because it was such a dark place for me, and so I carried a dark cloud, and I recognized that, and I didn't care. I could care less. I didn't give a fuck. I didn't care if I was too sensitive. I didn't care if I was too you call it, you say whatever. I didn't care. And so there was, and I already had the level of trust before that even happened, because why did I come here? You know what I mean? Like, why would I show up here? And I made sure like it was here, and I have that respect for a lot of other people also. I know when I go in their presence, we have other friends that I can just sit around. We don't have to do anything. We can just sit on sofas and do nothing, do absolutely nothing. And I thrive for that, for every friendship. But with me and you, like, I knew that. And so I was like, there has to be a level of respect for me to do that with Amanda if I trust her like that. But again, there are some things that we don't see eye to eye. And so outside of me, how do you feel like you navigate that when you don't see eye to eye? Have you ever like had a friendship like dissolve outside of us, or have you ever had like a friendship where it's just like, yeah, that's not like, just there was just something that you were like, okay, I don't know how to navigate this. I don't know how to do this. Has it happened to you?
I think in the past it has. I'm trying to think of a specific friendship. I mean, there's been a lot of, I guess, friendships in the past. I think a lot of it is whenever I'm going through life and then somebody else is going through a different kind of life transition.
Yeah.
And so I think naturally you just kind of separate, or if I'm married and someone's single and so, I'm living a different lifestyle than that person, that naturally happens. And I've had friendships where I'm like, I don't know what happened. And it just dissolved and I have no idea. And so with one friendship, like a long time ago, I remember calling and she never picked up, and I was like, did I do something? I was like, and I was like, I'm sorry.
Those hurt.
Yeah, I did. I mean, because these are all people that I really love, and care about. And so, and especially whenever you're younger too, you don't know, I mean, what someone else said or whatever, if it was the truth, and it probably wasn't, or, I mean, I still think about these people and, and it does still kind of hurt, but I don't know. I just, if I'm around you and if we have a friendship, like I genuinely like love you, and and so I think you have to really get to know a person, because let's say if, something like were to happen, I'll be like, because I know you enough that I'm like, okay, I know either you're going through something or whatever. I'm not going to take offense to it. Yeah. Like if, let's say, and there's times that we go and we don't even talk, and I don't take offense to it at all. Or whenever I don't talk or whatever, you don't take offense. Like we just have that friendship. I think that we just know each other enough. And I think that's what's lacking in the world. Like with people, either you're not getting to know that person, enough, or you're just, or let's say you do know that person, but you're taking offense. And we got to separate that. We can't, I believe we shouldn't take offense, because we, there's, things make sense. And you have to look for, okay, well, we got to kind of listen and what that person's going through or whatever. But
I mean, I get it sometimes, and I get sometimes why somebody would like ghost somebody else, or like, or whatever it may be, because sometimes you don't even know how to explain
that's
what you even feel. So how can you explain it to the other person?
Yeah.
How can you, and sometimes, like, I choose my words carefully now. Again, before I didn't care, but now I don't want to. The way I feel and the way I think, it's because the way I feel and I think. But if you ask me my opinion, I will definitely give it to you. I'm trying to do it in a way that, that's respectful to myself, to me, in a way that I can leave feeling like, okay, I explained it well enough. And if they still choose not to see my side, that's okay. I'm okay. And if they choose to walk away, then I'm okay. I never want it to be like because me personally as a person, I offended you, which is not even the issue anymore. It wasn't even the issue anymore. It was personal. Like if I personally attacked you, then it's like, you know what I mean? Then that's a whole separate story. Then that's not giving you the room or the space to grow. And I don't want to be, I don't want to be stifled like that. So I don't want to do that to anybody either.
Yeah.
But, and I get the other side of things. I get the other side where people are like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to explain to them because I'm tired. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of that. I'm tired of that conversation, or I'm tired of the topic, or I don't want to explain it. You know what? I have to move on.
Yeah.
And I respect that too. I highly respect that, because when you move on, you leave a lot of relationships behind. So the relationships that we've had before, like we were talking about a little bit about, like in the past, how they kind of like disappeared in the respect that you have for the person, and how to respect them, and the relationships it's caused. Even like, okay, so one of the things that I did want to say, even the relationships between like family were affected during this entire, oh my God, 6 years, these last 6 years, for sure, at least the last 4 years. I feel like even the conversations between families, like it brought up a lot. It forced people to have conversations. Even when you were trying to stay neutral, people were like, nah, say something. Like, we want to hear it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Did it happen to y'all?
Well, are you talking
in family?
In family? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
without giving names or topics, but
yeah.
how did y'all deal with that?
Well,
or did y'all not deal with it?
I will say, alcohol and conversation like that does not mix very well. Let's just say that. But I mean, yeah, it's hard to navigate that. And it's funny because I just recently had a conversation with my sister about a topic that was brought up recently, very recently. And she has one opinion and I have another opinion, and she's living with us right now. Okay. And so
we gave away with sister.
Oh, well, I'm sure I'm saying. Well,
no, I think
she would know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But and I just kind of and I told her, I was like, you do know that I love you no matter what. Like, it doesn't matter, And really, that's what it boils down. I mean, we can have difference of opinion and everything. I'm still going to love you no matter what. I mean, you could be, Amanda, I just really disagree with you, or I don't like what you said or whatever. I'd be like, okay, that's okay. I still love you. You're still my friend. And that's it.
It's hard. It's hard when you're passionate about it, though.
It is.
Do you feel like you've been the one on the other side of it, where it's like you're like, no, this I know to be true. This I know from the depths of my heart. I know, and the other person's like, well, that's life. Like, have you ever been on the other receiving end of things where you're like, oh man, frustrated?
Yeah, I mean, I have, but I also know what it is to be on the other side too. Okay. Because I've been there and I've walked that life, and so I'm very understanding to that. To a lot of times to the opposite, and I can definitely see the opposite side and why. And so, I mean, I don't know. I'm understanding to it, and I mean, and I know what I believe, and what, even if it's for, something that I'm passionate about. But I don't know. There's just something about me where I'm able to just step aside and just still love from afar. I don't know. I think it has to do with me growing as the person I am today.
Okay.
I've had to learn, a lot of things the hard way. I didn't have like the most easiest life. I've been through a lot of things and through trials, and so I don't know. I don't know. I thank God for what has been put in my life, because it's helped me be the person I am today, and I'm happy with that. I'm happy with who I am, and I keep on striving to do to do the best I can, and I don't know. I think, I definitely understand. And I know with you, like, you can be like very passionate. And I think I think it's something, I think it's very beautiful too, to be passionate about things.
I know nothing else. I'm going to be really honest, Amanda. I know nothing else, but like, the way you know your purpose, I know mine. And, right now, I feel like my purpose is being hit hard from different spaces, from different areas. It's constantly being questioned, constantly, but that doesn't make, so I know, like, I understand that, and I get that. And I just feel like I'm passionate about the things that I'm doing. I'm passionate about, I want to say it's like, I don't want to call it work, because it's not work for me. I want to, after just like you, the life you lived and what happened to you in your story. I think that, I have my story too. And I'm passionate about like what happened and the things that, how it shouldn't happen to another girl, and how the things that I can do to kind of start to, in a sense, I feel like I'm protecting the little myself. This is the young Angelica, the little one, the one being raised the way she was, being put in situations the way she was, putting myself in those situations and people taking advantage of those situations or things like that. You know what I mean? So I feel like I just like you, I feel like I have like my purpose is a little different than yours, but it's still definitely passion. I do because I feel like if I don't understand who I'm doing it for and why I'm doing it, then it's easy to get lost. It's easy to be like, oh yeah, no, blase, it is what it is. And I'm like, okay, I can't take that on right now. I can't, because I'm serving no purpose. I'm serving nobody if I do that. So I have to step into those spaces where, and I've been given kind of an opportunity based on like the past things that we've done, me and Juan. I've been given an opportunity to step in those places and speak my mind and say what I have to say, and I take advantage of it now.
I think that's like, amazing.
Yeah, and I want to keep doing that stuff, and because again, I don't know, like just like you, if you can change that one person's mind that's going to affect this person. I want to do that. You know what I mean?
You're very good at asking the right questions, I think. I mean, you've done that with me, like just asking me questions to just pull something out. You're very good at that. Like, if you guys,
Thank you.
I'm sure your audience already knows that about you. Like,
You're very kind. You're very, very kind. Amanda's just loud. And I try not to do that. We're just being loud to get my point across.
yeah,
I try not to do that anymore. Like, it's that, like, it can get lost in the shuffle.
yeah,
I want us, when I walk away from people, I don't know if I'm going to change you, but I definitely want you to think about it.
yeah,
Whether that changes your mind, okay. All right. If it didn't, I hope you thought about it.
yeah,
I hope you know that next time that if you have the same conversation, that you can think to yourself like, oh, okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And for me, that's good enough. But ultimately, what I want to do with this here, conversations with my friends, Latina Leadership Series, like all of this that I do with my husband on my own, all of this, I hope that it becomes something outside of me, that this doesn't live with me, that it lives outside of me, and that people can take these conversations or take these topics and they can just, divulge it, digest it, do whatever you need to do with it, and just make it kind of your own. Because this doesn't, what I talk about and things that I do, somebody else taught me. Somebody else was having these conversations with me. Somebody else was doing something else with me. And I took pieces from everywhere. I hope this can become a piece of something else for somebody else. This is my purpose. This has always been my purpose. But yeah, okay. So Amanda, again, earlier I was like, Amanda, if you give me time, we can sit here for about 3 hours talking, because me and you can talk, girl. Yeah. Me and you can talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. So Amanda, so parting words to the listeners out there. What would you like to say? What would you like them to know about you?
Oh man, you're putting me on the spot like that.
Yes, I am.
Well. Let's see about me. Really, we've had this conversation, different times, and you've known kind of like my journey and with my blog and everything, and it's Christian based and everything, and so I know what it is to be completely broken. I live that life. I mean, I don't even know if you know this.
Okay.
But I mean, I even wished to die. Like, it was such a bad time in my life. I've been, abused and raped. And I mean, there's, not to go deep into that, but, I was angry for a long time. Very, very, very angry. And I know that it took a lot of prayers for me to finally be free. And it was all God's doing. And I remember walking into this, it was a women's retreat. And I knew how I felt and everything. And like I said, I was very, very angry. But whenever I walked out of there, I was a completely different person.
Okay.
I wasn't angry anymore. I wasn't, and so, and I know it was all God. Pretty much, I was broken and everything. I walked out there being completely free. And I didn't even know what free was, because I wasn't free until then. And I was like, oh my goodness. Like, I mean, it's even hard to even explain
what free felt like.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was like, wow, like, this is amazing. And this whole time I was like, I didn't even realize I was so broken. And it was just this, it was like this epiphany and so, I've always had a heart for women of, whether if it's, just talking with women or just sharing experiences or even maybe a ministry with women. And whenever I was a director, I met with a lot of women. And so, it just kind of fed that want, that desire even more. And I've even thought about, really becoming a life coach. And so if you want to know anything about me, is that I guess my desire is to help other women to be free, to not feel, so broken, because we all go through things, excuse me. We all have a story. We all do. Whether if it's, suicide or drugs or abuse or addiction, whatever it is, we all have our own story. And through the trials that we go through, you can become just broken and not even know who you are anymore. I definitely was in that place. And I want to help others to just be free, and not feel like that, because I know what it is to be broken and I know what it is to be free. And I want that for everyone. And so,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was beautifully put. That was awesome. That was beautifully put. So, so your blog,
Yes.
beautifully,
Positively Beautiful Life.
Jesus, I know this one. PositiveBeautifulLife.com.
Positively Beautiful Life.
This is where they can find your writings, your inspirations.
Yeah. So www.positivelybeautifullife.com. Yeah.
Yeah, Amanda Hewitt, she's also on IG. She doesn't post regularly because, again, she's taking a break, and she absolutely should. She needs to. She has other focuses, other things she's doing. But you can still watch her videos there. There are some videos that are on there. They live on IGTV. Yeah, you can go and visit her there if you want. If you want to see what she talks about, the kind of conversations she still has. I know she still checks it every now and then. She just likes to keep up with people, because that's what I do too. I keep up with people on IG to see what they're up to.
Yeah.
So I know you look at it, and sometimes you'll read your DMs. So if somebody's interested in just having a conversation with you, they can find you there.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you, Amanda, for having this conversation and entrusting me for having this conversation.
Oh, yeah. This is fun.
Tell her she needs to open. Okay, if you do your homework, tell her she needs to do like the whole, like if this is you're faith-based person who needs that inspiration, who like thrives on that, who like consumes that. There's people out there who absolutely need it and want it and seek it. Tell her she needs to do her own podcast. She has to go. She needs to come on the space, and do these kinds of things. Again, there's space for everybody to whatever conversation you're having. Yeah. Awesome. All right, Amanda, thank you so much for being the first guest of Conversations with My Friends. So if you can do me really quick, just wave at my camera. Bye.
Bye.